Greetings to you all from Bangladesh. My name is Saaduddin Ahmad, and I will be speaking about the challenges and progress of emergency medicine as a specialty in this colorful land of ours. It should be no surprise to you all that we, like most of our South Asian siblings, are quite dramatic. As a matter of fact, Bengal has brought the world artists of the caliber of Tagore, Nazrul, Ravi Shankar, Hemanta, and Satyajit Ray, to name but a few. Therefore, keeping the spirit of the great Satyajit Ray alive, we will delve into the past, present, and future of emergency medicine in Bangladesh to the tempo of some of the great cinematic classics. Indeed, we in Bangladesh appear to be the land that emergency medicine forgot. The dinosaurs of the casualty unit still roam the land, very much the apex predators. But let's take a closer look. Before we dive into the abyss, we should note that the presence of signposted emergency departments do not necessarily mean that a country has an established emergency medicine training program. Likewise, the establishment of a Society of Emergency Medicine does not reflect specialty establishment either. Let's look into the timeline of how emergency medicine was established in contextually relevant areas around the world. No doubt you should be able to recognize the countries with their respective flags embedded in their maps, but also be aware that the countries are not necessarily drawn to scale. I also take full responsibility for my poor photoshopping skills if any international borders have been inadvertently misrepresented. As we line up our team of countries that are waiting to be picked up for the match, we can unanimously agree that the concept of emergency medicine was established by the 1950s. However, it wasn't until almost 30 years later that the United States established it as a specialty. It took another 20-odd years for the UK to set up its college. 200 years of colonial rule by the British did come to some benefit, as the formation of the College of Emergency Medicine triggered an interest in emergency medicine in the South Asian region. By 2009, Bhutan and India had set up their programs, to be immediately followed by Pakistan in 2010. The 2004 tsunami was an impetus for Sri Lanka to overhaul their health systems, and by 2012, they too had established training in emergency medicine. Nepal set up their program when they appointed 3 internationally trained EM specialists in 2013. Now, sincere apologies if I have gotten any of these dates wrong, but the more grievous error is that Bangladesh is still sitting on the sidelines to the game at the start of 2023. So let's come to the present, and at the risk of mixing up Eastwood film genres, let's see if we got lucky. The Bangladesh Society of Emergency Medicine was established in 2010 during the initial wave of regional excitement. There has been strong regional support from the Society of Emergency Medicine of India, and 7 conferences and numerous workshops have been held. The Society continues to exert its presence socially by taking part in multiple health system strengthening projects. The Society has been raising EM consciousness in leading national dailies and promoting emergency medicine on multiple news networks. It has also been crucial in the conceptual development and editing of the standard hospital emergency management guideline published by the Directorate General of Health under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, as well as developing an SOP for government hospitals. In terms of training, a comprehensive 1-year program has been run at Dhaka Medical College, in which 26 doctors from both the public and private sector successfully received certificates of completion from the Perelman School of Medicine by the University of Pennsylvania. And finally, we have a plethora of curricula ready to go, contextualized for the Bangladesh health education system. The 1-year CPEM curriculum, much alike the Emergency Medicine Foundation program from the Royal College, works as a solid introduction into the specialty. The Bangladesh Society has a 3-year master's program ready, with the specialty placements in place, fit for university accreditation. There are 2 separate 5-year programs that are currently in line with the fellowship program of the Bangladesh College of Physicians and Surgeons, as well as the phased residency program under the Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib Medical University. It is indeed unfortunate that everyone seems to recognize the need, but the complete lack of drive is alarming. Many factors seem to be in play, paramount of which is cost. Bangladesh, being an out-of-pocket health economy, still requires emergency care to be free at the point of delivery. This appears to be a deal breaker for facilities to heavily invest in the emergency room. Another obvious reason is that developing nations like Bangladesh have multiple essential areas that still need to be developed, so prioritizing may come down to the better lobbyist. The society has indeed left no stone unturned in trying to establish EM nationally. Of the 115 private and public medical colleges in the country, only one engaged in the SACEM program. Dhaka University was approached to run a master's course, but they currently have restrictions on running medical education programs, despite having both undergraduate and postgraduate medical faculties. The responsibility of medical education lies with the aforementioned Bangladesh College of Physicians and Surgeons and the Medical University, both whom are still mulling over the submitted curricula. We have engaged with the Directorate General of Health, as well as the Ministry of Health, and both are still reviewing the EM program. A new avenue has opened up in the Directorate of Medical Education that was established in 2019. The pandemic scuppered any strong engagement with them at the time. The only surefire way of guaranteeing establishment of the specialty is by a directive straight from the Prime Minister's office. We would definitely need full support from international bodies to explore this avenue. The ugly truth is that if we fail to establish emergency medicine in Bangladesh within the next couple of years, there will be no way in which we will be able to achieve our SDG health targets by 2030. Furthermore, a lack of EM services will also impact on many of the cross-cutting issues with the remaining 16 SDGs. So, let's get back to the future and see in which direction Bangladesh is heading. The Directorate General of Health does realize the importance of emergency care, but due to current limitations, it is taking the longer path. It is piloting one-stop emergency centers in 4 of the capital's leading hospitals and staffing them with consultants from medicine, surgery, orthopedics, gynecology, and anesthesia. The rationale behind this is that the excessive number of government doctors in these specialties will be able to contribute to some emergencies rather than not at all. This is why a platform like SACEM would prove to be quite valuable to Bangladesh. It can influence the powers that be through mutual collaboration and allow us to learn from the experience of others. 2023 may prove to be a productive year in terms of establishing the specialty. 2 key individuals are now the lead for the Directorate General of Medical Education. The first is Professor Titu Mia, the erstwhile principal of Dhaka Medical College, who was very influential in the setting up of the SACEM program. He is now the Director General of the service. The next is Professor ABM Jamal, the Assistant Director General, who is also the current president of the Bangladesh Society of Emergency Medicine. So, to conclude, do we remain as the protagonist Apu in one of Bengal's greatest cinematic works, Pother Pachali, in the depths of despair and with all hope lost? Or do we climb out to continue Apu's trilogy in establishing EM in Bangladesh? Thank you very much.